In my reading through the Psalms, I came across a Psalms that I have quoted I don't know how many times. It is a chorus of worship with the Holiness or Pentecostal people, charismatics, and I think it pretty much sums it up. Psalms 103 begins, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless the Lord and forget not any of his benefits," or all of his benefits. And, so many times, if we are not financially stable, if we are not physically stable, then we have a capacity to thank the Lord, but there's really nothing that we're thinking about at the time. I remember as a young Pentecostal, we would go to prayer meetings and we would go to Bible studies, and the people would raise their hands and call out to God. They would thank him, and I would thank him, but I really didn't have in my mind anything that I was thanking him for. In other words, to me, as I think about it now, it was kind of an empty thank you, because the words were there. I was trying to be like everybody else around, but I really wasn't thinking of what God had done in my life. Now, I don't care if you wake up in the morning and you have 2 nickels to rub together. And I have faced that many, many times. Yesterday we got an electric bill that was twice what it usually is. And the Meralco, or the electric company here in the Philippines, has really no body that has jurisdiction over them. You have the Department of Energy, you have the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court put a temporary restraining order against them for, they wanted something like 8 pesos or something like that in a raise for each kilowatt hour. And the temporary restraining order was renewed by the court just not long ago. But they don't have to explain themselves. And so when we got the bill, it was the equivalent to $140 in American money. Now, I have never paid that much for electric any place that I lived in the United States. And with my Social Security, it took a big bite out of our month. I mean, this is almost 7,000 pesos is 1,500 pesos less than I pay on rent for this apartment. And this apartment is not big. What you see is it. We have a kitchen off to the right as you walk toward the door. We have a CR, or a restroom, on the left, and that's it. And this, to cool it and to keep myself breathing right, has cost me $140 this month. Well, I could sit down and complain, which I did a little bit. I'm sure my wife got an earful, and I know she wasn't responsible for it, but she happened to be there. And we kind of found out this morning that they had to buy electrical fuel, or fuel to turn the electric generators, from somebody else at this time, and so they passed the cost on to us. Now, here in Manila, you have what they call squatters, who, after the People Rebellion that took Marcos out of office, Cory Aquino came in and she lightened up the laws on people dwelling in different places. So consequently, you had people putting up plywood shelters next to somebody who had a 250 million peso house. And it looked very strange. Along the airport protective fence, at one time when I was here in '95, there were plywood houses built between the road and the fence. And so people pretty much settled where they wanted to. They came from the province with the promise of better pay, better living, I guess, and they thought that they could get the comforts that they had in the province here in Manila. Well, the electric is more expensive. So we have what they call jumpers, who hook up the electricity to their house from the pole themselves. Excuse me. Now, if the Meralco would go after these folks to pay their rightful share, I don't think they would have a problem with not having the money to pay for their fuel. But be that as it may, I said all that to say this, and sometimes, well, not sometimes, a lot of times I wander, but this morning I woke up and I wasn't thinking of the bill. I'm going to pay it. I intend to do what's right. Pardon me. Just like I did with my leaving the country and coming back in, going down to visa, the immigration place every 2 months, and getting my visa renewed. If we follow the law, there's going to be a pinch in our character. Now, let me say that again and let me explain it. If we follow the law, there is going to be a pinch in our character. Because, first of all, the laws are not made to be convenient for everyone. As a matter of fact, they're not supposed to be made to be convenient for anyone. They are supposed to be a structure that a society sets up so that they can establish norms. And it's a lot easier for people here to go out and to pay bribe money to different government officials